Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about New Genesis. There is a lot of news. But before I talk about that, first of all, I need to talk about the new scratchies because we literally just got like a bazillion new scratchies. As you can see, everything, almost everything is undefined. A small reminder is the Versus Annihilation. If you do have the ticket, just make sure to use it before August because that is when that scratchy goes away. You still got plenty of time, so don't worry about it too much, but just keep that in mind. The Sakura Splendor is also going away as New Genesis comes out on 69. Hey. Alright, but now before I talk about anything else, if you're new to the channel, I upload PSO2 content daily, so if you do play this game, I'd really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. Alright, the first thing that I want to point out is obviously all the really crazy emotes and people behind me. There's just my alliance. Don't judge me. I'm not in charge of my alliance. I swear. Don't blame me. But I got a couple things I need to talk about. First of all is the Rewind SG collection. So this is pretty expensive. I personally think it's a trap. But if you do want specific emotes, this is where you can get them. Because at 25 scratches, you will get the selector ticket, which will allow you to pick any emote you want over here, or any fashion, or anything in this scratch in general. And so there are some nice poses, you know, like Matoi poses, if you guys wanted that. There's the Sukehime, there's the Shiva pose. There's a lot of poses over here that you can pick up if you want. However, do keep in mind that in order to do 25 scratches, multiplied by 80, that is actually quite a lot of star gems. And as you know, we will be able to spend our star gems in New Genesis to get, you know, the New Genesis body type cosmetics, which will look a lot nicer. So the only reason why you would actually do the SG scratch ticket over here is for emotes. I wouldn't do it for the cosmetics because the cosmetic is going to be for the old body type, which is not going to look as nice as the new body type, okay? The second thing I want to talk about is the Rewind Beauty over here. This cost AC. I mean, it's alright if you want it. You do get makeup and stuff like that, but I personally wouldn't do it at all, mainly because a lot of the stuff over here will not transfer over to the new body types, like the body paints, stuff like that won't work. The Rewind Beauty Fun over here, you can spend it if you want, just unlock everything else because it is just fun points, so it's really easy to get, and it is 100 fun points for a scratch. And last but not least is the Permanent Fun Blast over here, or the Permanent Fun Scratch. I am very disappointed that they took away the shop pass over here. So if we look at the prize list over here, you can scroll to the very bottom and you'll notice that there's only personal quarter use 3 days. There's no more personal shop use 3 days. But I did warn you guys about this beforehand, like a week before they did this. But it is what it is, you know, they've removed it. So if you are a free-to-play player like myself, you no longer have access to sell items on the shop. Don't worry, we can still buy items, but we won't be able to sell items anymore without the little shop pass. But if you did scratch beforehand and you do have the 3-day shop pass in your storage or in your inventory, they do not disappear. They're still there. You can still use them, so forth and so on. All right. The only problem now is they're no longer obtainable. And Den's face over there is very distracting. Look at that monstrosity over there just like creeping up towards us. That's kind of creepy, huh? Yeah, but anyway, with all of that out of the way, now is time to talk about New Genesis because they posted a wall of text on their website and we're gonna check it out right now. So over here, PSO2 New Genesis is about to launch, and over here they talk about a ton of information. First of all, they have the video, the trailer, which I highly recommend you guys to watch, the PSO2 New Genesis intro movie. I did link this in yesterday's video, so if you haven't checked it out, you can check it out there. I'll put this link in the description below so you can watch it for yourselves. Then they talk about the story. I'm not going to spoil much. I mean, it's not really much. It's just like you're starting on this island at a Western Alio. And then they go over all the NPCs. So we've got Aina over here, we got Manon, we've got Garora, we've got Crawford, Dozer, Ran, and then all of the other operators. Obviously, Oranje is best girl. And then over here we cover all the different classes, and I really like this. I will make a separate video talking about the different classes, what weapons they use, and what type of play style, just so that for people who are new to Phantasy Star, you know, maybe you never played PSO2 but you're coming into New Genesis, I will make a video dedicated for you guys, just explaining to you guys what class does what. However, if you just want to read it for yourself, this post over here explains everything pretty well. Talks about the Hunter, the Ranger, Force, Fighter, Gunner, and Techer. So we will have 6 classes available upon release. However, don't forget each class will be able to use various weapons. Most classes will have access to 2 weapons. Actually, all classes have access to 2 weapons except for the Hunter. The Hunter will have access to 3 weapons, which will be the Sword, the Partisan, and the Wired Lance. All the other classes will only have access to 2 weapons, alright? So we're going to skip over all the different weapons over here, and we're going to go straight over here to the skill trees. So you can see here are all the skill trees, everything is translated. Remember, max level is 20 on release, which means we'll be able to take 20 skills. I don't know if that allows us to take everything on the skill tree, because we can't see the entire skill tree right now. I'm gonna assume that we probably can take up all the skills or learn all the skills. That's what I'm gonna assume, but they give you a little preview in these screenshots. Then they talk about photon dashing, photon gliding, the wall kicking. If you are having issues with the whole wall kicking mechanic, you can turn it off, turn it to manual mode in the option setting, and so when you're next to a wall, you have to press spacebar in order to wall kick, which actually makes it a lot easier. Next up, they talk about the new system. So they're changing motions. These are just different idle animations as well as different running and gliding animations. There are a lot of new swimming animations, gliding animations. Then they talk about all the different fields, all the different regions. I'm going to let you read this for yourself and look through all the pretty pictures, because it's really nice. You know, you can just click on it and it opens up the picture, and you can take a closer look on each of the areas and see how pretty they are. Next thing is going to be about the new features, about the Ryuka devices, about cocoons, about towers, regional mags, as well as domes, which is something new. However, this is something in the laboratory zone, and it is a mechanic there. I will probably make a dedicated video about this when the game fully releases and we get to explore the actual area and have fun. The next thing is about the trials. There are many different type of trials. These are kind of like random events that happen in the open world. Retrieving Stella packs are kind of like loot crates. They just fall from space and they crash down. Be careful when these Stella packs come down. If you stand under it and it hits you, you will die. This thing can kill you because it's literally a loot crate coming down from space. So you do need to be careful. You can't miss it. You'll hear it. It is really loud. And so when it comes flying down, just make sure to look up to the sky, see where it is, and make sure that it doesn't land on you, because you will die if it does. And the funny thing about Stella packs is Stella is one of the more cultured characters in the game. Next up, we have all of these different trial missions. I'm not going to cover all of them because you can read it for yourselves. The next thing it talks about are the enemies. So all the different type of dolls, as well as their names and like their weapon types and what they are, so forth and so on. It's pretty cool. However, they also talk about the altars. Altars are strong boss type monsters which actually buff all of the other monsters around them, which is really cool. So obviously Big Frogga is the best boss ever. Remember, Big is spelt with 2 G's and not 1. I'll see a lot of people messing that up. Triggers me, kicks de la Mao. Then we've got the Formers. I actually think the Formers might be the ones that buff. I don't remember. Or the Altered. I think the Altered ones are the one that buff it. I forgot. We're gonna find out in game anyway. Then we've got Tames, which are just the wildlife. Please don't kill the seals, even though they do create like the best type of food. But I mean, they're so cute. And the next thing we need to talk about are the Gigantix or Gigantix. I don't know how to pronounce this word. I'm just going to call them Gigantix. But either way, these bosses won't be spawning until June 23rd. So it won't be available upon release. So if you are trying to hunt these down, because they do drop some really good affixes, you have plenty of time. You have a lot of time to level up. So take your time, have fun. And eventually when they do come out, you will be ready for it. You know, you want to be level 20 when these guys come out, because I don't know if it's going to be the same as the closed beta, but they were level 19 in the closed beta. and they were a little bit tough. So when you're level 20 and maybe you don't have a full party, I think you guys will have a much better chance in taking these guys down. Next up, they talk a little bit about the multi-weapon system, explaining how it works, as well as the enhancing, affixing, and limit breaking system, which is really nice. The next thing is the present skill system. This is new, alright? So think of this like Diablo. At least it gives me Diablo vibes. When you go around in the open world and you kill stuff and it drops a weapon, it will have a fixed passive over here of some sort. As you can see over here, it says Fixa Attack level 1. But it's not an augment, and it's also not a potential. It's its own thing which levels up as you level up the weapon. So this gives each drop a unique feel, because this thing will have its own unique role depending on what the weapon is. So you can see over here that Fixa Attack increases potency by 2%, which is basically increase your DPS by 2%. Really good. And this will increase as you enhance the weapon. So this gives like a whole new level of grindability or replayability or whatever you want to call it, because you can literally grind a specific weapon and hope that you get the right skill that you actually want, or a better skill compared to your current weapon, which is really cool. And so I really like this system because it just adds a lot of replayability. It gives people a purpose to be grinding specific areas, so forth and so on. Alright, next up is the 3-star rarity weapons. They show off some of them and how they look. It's pretty dope. And finally, we have the Salon system. It explains that. It talks about stamps, login bonuses, as well as the scratch ticket system. So yes, we will get a login bonus every day when we log in. However, on top of that, because New Genesis just released, there is a huge campaign, a huge launch celebration, which will allow us to get even more stuff, as well as daily missions, so forth and so on. So you want to log in every day, basically, okay? Not only that, we will also be getting SG scratch tickets every single day. And this is a permanent addition, where we get once a day free SG scratch tickets every single day. And so this is super duper nice. More incentive to log in to play the game. Then over here, we've got some UI functions. So it talks about all the different tasks. So main task is basically story missions, side tasks are side missions, daily tasks, weekly tasks, limited time tasks. These are basically dailies, weeklies, and events, right? Super duper easy. Next up is the AC Scratch. I talked about this in yesterday's video, but this is the English version. However, they show a little bit extra over here. So over here, we can first see that the June Scratch update over here, and this is the guard. So the guard or soldier line begins on June 9th upon release, right? So we've seen all of this, blah blah blah, looks really nice. Then we've got the SG scratch ticket, which is Passionate Spirit, which will be available on June 16th. So this is where we get Garora, where we get Aina, where we get all of these other cool characters, as well as the animated stamps, so forth and so on. But in this video, they added something extra. They talk about the wedding celebration will be released on June 23rd. So this is where you can get the very sexy wedding dress over here. You get the top hat over here. You get my favorite costume right here as well as the beautiful hairstyle. And of course, you get the very seductive looking, I don't even know if this is really a wedding dress, but it is very seductive. And you get this hairstyle. I want this hairstyle. I want this face type. I want the eyes. I want this face. Just this is perfect. I love it. I love it. And I want this. So I'm just going to be waiting for June 23rd to roll by, and then I will be going for all of these cosmetics. Look at those leggings. Oh my god, freaking high definition. So this is why I say that the current SG scratch is a trap, because the body type and all the fashion in New Genesis is just going to look so much better. You can even get a freaking wedding ring. It's just so much nicer. Like, look at this. Look how cute this is. This is, oh, my heart can't take it. It's amazing, all right? So this is why I'm saving all of my SG, because I want to spend it on New Genesis stuff, because the new body types just look so much better, in my opinion. And then over here, we've got all the recommended items that they talk about. You know, they're recommending the guard hair, all of these different eyes. There's machine wings. There's a whole bunch of really cool stuff. Hopefully you guys are as hyped as me for New Genesis. Remember, June 9th. The game comes out in June 9th. That's literally in like 7 days. 6 days. It's so close, guys. Oh my gosh, I am so ready to play New Genesis. I am so ready. and I hope you guys are as well. Anyway, that's it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!
What can I say except you're welcome? For the heels, the